So, I'm speaking to Carol, and she tells me I have no sense of direction. I have no idea where that came from. And every day, every day while I'm at work, I get so ill. It must be my weekend immune system.
Oh.
Come on.
God's sake.
2 short ones in and out. Thanks very much. We're all done. I even gave you a warning.
As the actress said to the bishop.
Madam. Hello, everyone.
Don't touch it. Oh.
Steady. Don't put your hand on that.
No. Ow. Shit.
Bless you, my child. No. Anyway, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Black Dog 175. I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
I'm Jim.
I'm Elton.
And this week, we'll see how everyone's week's been. And then we will have quite a bit of discussion about last week's episode, Gone Baby Gone, because quite a few people had a few things to say about that. Because we were fighting.
Why are Mummy and Daddy fighting?
So
why, Jim? Why?
Don't
listen, Darren. Don't listen. It'll stop soon enough.
Then go back to your happy place.
Let's sing the song. Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya.
And then once we've done that, we'll go on to review this week's movie, which is your choice, Elton, which is?
The Social Network.
The Social Network. Yes, The Social Network. But anyway, before we get to that, let's find out if anything's happened in everyone's week. I know nothing much has happened with down your way, Elton. So
is well boring.
You is well boring as you,
Yeah,
right? Okay,
sorry.
That's fair enough. So we'll start with you then, Jim. How's it going, sir?
So not too bad. Enjoying the rain, what we're calling the summer.
Yes.
But not been doing too much. I had my 6-monthly CT scan yesterday. So find out if I'm going to live or die.
Okay.
So I've got a week 10 days waiting for a phone call.
Oh, great.
From the consultant. But we'll see. As I saw that it was a radiographer I've seen before, he's really big bloke and he's got this massive Victorian beard with a moustache with wax tips, pointy.
Oh my good lord.
He's absolutely brilliant. He's kind of now I've got actually very, very thin veins. And people, when they're trying to give me blood tests or put cannulas in, they can have a trouble finding a vein sometimes. My veins are very fine. And so, you're trying one hand, that's right, the other arm. Feel free. I'm used to this. It's not it's me, it's not you. Trust me. And then he said, I'll tell you what, are you all right with it going in your hand? I said, yeah, that's fine. So you got a vein around it because I said, I think I've got one. Right, I'm going to just put a warm flush of water in to see if that's right.
All right.
Because he said you got the blood out, so that's a bit bright. That might be arterial, but I'll just put some warm water in. He said, how's that feel? I said, that feels fine. He said, good. Because if it had been an artery, you'd be screaming your head off by now.
Oh, right. Jesus. Well, that's good.
Woo, I didn't fuck up. I tried.
Yeah, trigger warning for anyone with a phobia of needles there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Should have said at the start, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Yeah, cheers, Jim.
But also, it's kind of I saw what might be the funniest things I've ever seen, which was I discovered James May and Richard Hammond have a YouTube channel called What Next, and James May recently, in the last couple of years, has started making his own designer gin.
Oh God! Okay.
And Richard Hammond and James May decided they were going to test this gin by playing chess. And it was decided they'd drink a shot of neat. Every time you take a piece, you drink a shot of neat gin.
Oh, good Lord. Okay.
Yes. This is also all on YouTube on the channel What Next. Now, the thing is, as it transpires about 15 minutes in, Richard Hammond goes, I've got to come out. We have already been drinking quite heavily today.
Oh, God.
And the drink they've got to kind of as a palate cleanser is a gin and tonic.
Oh, right.
Right.
And as you can imagine, it gets very, very messy.
Yes, I can imagine.
You get drunker and drunker, and it's really, really funny. At one point, Richard Hammond does a world-class impression of Wolverine that has to be seen to be believed. I would say no more than that.
Okay.
But whatever you do, if you're going to watch it, don't play along at home because you will die.
Fine. Nice. And that's the What Next?
On the What Next channel, which has all sorts of interesting and fun little videos.
Nice.
James made a little series of sandwiches of the 70s where he recreates 70s classic sandwiches like banana and sugar.
Oh my God.
Oh, I love a banana and sugar.
Yeah.
What nightmarish creation is that? That's
What's
the
the
worst
matter
of
with
everything.
that?
Well,
Classic 70s salad sandwich with salad cream.
Oh God. Fuck me.
Follow me for more recipes. Yeah.
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 Jesus.
But yeah. If you're sort of missing Oh Cook, this is kind of like the punk rock version. This is where it started, actually, I suspect.
Right.
Cooking in a kind of the bunker kitchen, as he calls it.
Ooh, good Lord.
But yeah, it's a gift that keeps on giving. We've been very entertained. But the gin drinking, slow death by gin chess game, which is about an hour and 20 minutes of them just getting drunker and drunker. And they don't know how to play chess to start with, really.
Right.
Other than the basics.
So the slow gin death.
Pretty much, yeah.
Slow gin.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Sorry, Jim. Okay.
But yeah, so that's a high recommend from me. Cause that was very
awesome.
Very, very entertaining. Vintage nonsense. And I might have to try his gin.
Oh, really? Is he selling it or something?
Oh, yes, yeah. He's done a couple now. There's the first one, which is called Asian Parsnip.
Asian
And
parsnip.
then there's another one, American Mustard.
What? What? Okay. I nothing about that.
If you were to suggest he might be slightly just a wee bit taking the piss out of the designer gin market, well,
yeah.
I couldn't possibly comment.
Yeah.
The fact all the labels on the bottles, they're exactly like the 70s labels on chemicals.
Oh, right, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that yeah. Okay, that now makes perfect sense. Cool. Anything else, sir?
I think I'll leave that there.
Leave it there. Okay, well, and as we've established, Elton has been well boring in it.
Yeah, nothing, I'm afraid.
Okie dokie. So what about you then, Dal? How's your week been, mate?
Well, quiet. I took a week off from doing overtime this week because it was just getting a little bit much. So we decided we would go up to London and just do a touristy thing, just go and have a look around.
Right.
What have you. And where did we go? Let's see. When we got up there, we went to the food market near the BFI, or the National Film Theatre.
Yeah.
Where they've got the bust of Nelson Mandela.
Yes.
At the bottom of the stairs, they have like a world food market.
That's
there
right,
where you can get all different bits and bobs from all over the place. Oh, my word, yes. Absolutely brilliant.
There's some
Loved
good
it.
stuff there, isn't there?
Yeah, it's a little bit on the expensive side, but you know what? I'd say it was worth it. The food was really, really good. Very well done. I think we all enjoyed what we had. I had sort of like Polish sausage. I think it's like a bratwurst type thing or whatever. But man, they gave it to us in this like the bun was quite big that went with it as well, and then they just shoved loads of stuff on top of it.
Right.
And boy, yes, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice indeed. So there was that.
Nice.
Then let's see, where did we go next? Then we had a little bit of a look around just on the way to Forbidden Planet.
Oh, yeah.
So we took Maria in
You mean
there.
the pop store?
The pop store, yeah.
Yeah.
As it's now known. But
Yeah.
no, actually, it's the manga store now.
Oh, God.
Because where they used to have all the DC and Marvel comics, it's just everything is manga there now. Everything is like, comics based on animes and just manga in general.
Right.
So much of it down there, it's unbelievable. Most of it pretty much safe for kids, but you do kind of go across the, if you pardon the expression, odd dodgy one.
Yeah.
Down there. And it's like, you need to put that on a higher shelf, I think. Yep, indeedy. Yep, I can see that woman's wearing not very much, and there is a tentacle in the background. Oh, yes, yes. I think we've, friends of mine have told me about this stuff. So I'm pre-educated by other people as to how this story may end.
Oh, I think it's something to
next
do...
week's pick: Legend of the Overfiend.
What is this? This looks like an interesting anime. Let's get everybody in the living room to watch it. Yes,
what
indeed.
is it? What is this? Is it some kind of neckwear for a small chicken? I mean, it says hentai on it.
Hentai. Oh, I'm glad they're doing a line of clothing for them now.
Yes. Come on.
They're the cheesemakers. Forbidden Planet hasn't really changed much at all apart from those bits. It's still bloody crowded down there. And it still had so many books on its shelves that after a while you just stop being able to read words and they just look like mystic symbols on a piece of paper.
I've lost my sense of smell. Does it still smell of damp feet down in the basement?
In some places, yes, it does. And everything is mostly just as expensive as, if not more, than you actually remember.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
cool.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, there was still some good stuff in there, but most of it is buried by, as you say, Funko Pops.
Yes,
and
very
stuff like that.
So.
Yeah, and anything that's actually of any interest to me is stuffed in a corner somewhere. You know, if you blink, you'll miss it.
Yes. Yeah, you have to walk past very slowly and study the 3.5 inches which aren't given over to anime or Funko Pops.
Indeed. It was like a tiny little section with where I remember the Marvel section being quite large at one point, and it's now just, it's been nudged out of the way by everything I'm not into.
Yes.
So there we go. But managed to went out after that. I think we hung around for a coffee and stuff, and then just went home. But it was just nice just to do whatever. We were planning to go to the Natural History Museum. And I know that's free. What I either failed to remember it or just didn't know in the first place was you had to book a day in advance before you go in there. You have to actually go onto the website and book a ticket the day before you want to go.
Only on holidays or bank holidays when it gets overloaded.
No, it's all the same. It's for the weekends. I think it may be during the week. It's not, but it definitely was. The website was active over the weekend. Trying to get a ticket for that day was non-existent. You had to book it the day before.
Okay.
So there you go. So word of warning, it might be the same for the science and the what's the other one? So there's natural history, the science. Was there another? There was a third one, wasn't there?
Victoria and Albert.
So I would say if you go to any one of those three people, you want to go down there for the weekend, check the day before that they're not making you get tickets. If you do go there on the day expecting to get in, you'll have to wait so they can see if the capacity is okay for you to walk through the door. So just save yourself some aggro and just buy yourself a ticket. Or not buy yourself a ticket, but get a free ticket. Just get in there and book yourself in.
Nice.
So there you go. That was that really for this weekend.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Apart from watching more baby reindeer. Oh my God. Oh, they were right. It just gets worse. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh boy. That's all I'm going to say about that one. I've still got 4 episodes left. So God knows where it's going to go from this point.
Right. Okay then. Yeah, I'm not even going to go near it. I'm just not going to go anywhere near it. Okay. Well, in which case, my week has been pretty damn dull as well. I've the only notable thing is I watched a film other than the one we're watching for this week, called Abigail.
Oh
Yes. Did you happen to go out to the cinema to watch this, Lee?
I did go out to the cinema to watch this.
You did. Excellent. I would like to go to the cinema to watch this as well.
Would you?
Yes, I would. In fact, I think me and Rhiannon actually had planned to go out to the cinema to watch it.
Right. Okay. Well, then, if you need me to buy you a ticket for the cinema, I shall do exactly that.
That would be awfully kind of you, sir.
I
will. You could buy us both. You could buy us both. And see, I fell off my chair. That's okay.
That's my gift to you.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
And if anybody else in the group, Jim or Elton, if you would like a ticket for the cinema, I will certainly, as a gift to you, as loyal hosts of the podcast, this is the benefits you get.
I couldn't possibly go to the cinema.
You possibly couldn't. No,
I possibly couldn't.
No. Why not?
I should have just kept my mouth shut. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Is the cinema too good for you now? Is that it, Elton? Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I do know that you have a past of going to the cinema. So why you would suddenly find going to the cinema a problem, I don't know. Do you think you're better than us? Do you, Elton? Do you?
With our cinema tickets?
Yeah. Do you think you're your moral fiber?
I refer back to my original statement of I wish I'd shut the fuck up.
Well,
you pleading the fifth? Is that what you're doing, Elton? That's what they call it, isn't it? I've never been to court or anything, so I wouldn't know.
Well, anyway, I was going to say Abigail is quite a fun
false
movie.
charges, that's what I'm saying.
They couldn't make them stick. Yes, Abigail, which I saw at the cinema, is quite a fun movie. It's nothing that you probably couldn't predict within like 20 seconds of the opening 10 minutes of the opening the opening 20 seconds basically. But you kind of see things and you go, okay, I think I know exactly where this is going. And it's just the only thing that's a shame is that the trailers kind of gave a little too much away.
Oh, they gave a lot away on this. I think it might have been the second trailer I watched of it. But it's kind of like, you know what? I think I'm down for this anyway.
But yeah, I won't spoil it in case anyone hasn't seen the trailer. But it is coming out on, if it's not already out, on Amazon to rent as well. A premium rental, so it's still cinema prices. So it's still like £15 to rent it for a night on Amazon. So, just hold off if that's the case. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. It's it's undemanding. It's nothing too fancy, but the action, shall we say, without giving anything away, is quite violent and bloody, and the effects are quite well done, and the Abigail herself is does what it says on the tin. That's all I'm going to say. She's she's up there with those kind of ones that are kind of floating outside windows, tapping and asking if you're coming out to play. So it's pretty darn good. But like I say, there's no surprises. There'll be one character who does something and says, "Oh, see you soon," and you think, right. Okay, I've got you pegged. Thanks very much. Bye. Yeah, it pretty much, every character pretty much has dead meat written across their forehead, or I'm double crossing you written across their forehead in bright neon letters. But no, it was good fun. And another film that I will be going to the cinema to see in not too distant future is a film called Sting. But I will inform you of that once I have seen it. But it's not one for the arachnophobes in the audience, from what I understand.
Oh, right. Okay.
Nothing to do with the police, then?
No. There's no rendition of Don't Stand So Close to Me or anything like that.
So you didn't go to see it because you were feeling so lonely? So lonely?
No.
No?
No. But I do know the director's pretty good and everything she does is magic.
So, were you so happy that you were walking on the moon?
No.
Did it feel like that?
I haven't seen the fucking film yet. Give it a chance.
All right, okay. Well, let us know, wouldn't you? You know, I mean, either text us or just send me a message in a bottle. And
you guys,
I've got the greatest hits right in front of me here. Let's see where we can go with this.
Yeah. How many lines is that?
I don't know. Let's see.
Sounds like you're having trouble. You should send out an SOS.
I should, yes. By the way, Lee, next time we're out, okay, do you mind giving me a bit of space? Don't sound so close to me, all right?
Oh.
Boundaries, my friend, boundaries.
Okay. I'm not going to go down this route. I'm just not.
Yeah, all night. Have you seen the size of their back catalogue?
Yes.
I can hear you both frantically Googling
I'm
rifling through the CD collection. Googling it.
Backing away.
What's that fucking box set? There we go. Right, yes. Now I got you.
Straight. Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to think of a pun for Fields of Gold. No.
I know there's Synchronicity 2, but what was a Synchronicity 1?
Yeah. Oh, shit. I'm not actually in New York. I can't make that pun. Anyway. Yeah, so I'm hoping to see Sting very soon. And, yeah, like I say, arachnophobes need not apply from what I've seen of the trailer. So, yes, I'll come back to you on that next week.
Lovely.
That's really it. Like I say, I've not really got much else to report, really. Oh, apart from my tumble dryer, which people who are following me on Facebook, yeah,
that was scary.
That was scary. For those who weren't following me on Facebook, basically, I doing some chores around the house, and I thought, okay, fine, I'll put some washing in the tumble dryer. I put it in the tumble dryer. As you do. You put the washing in the tumble dryer, turn it on, and then all of a sudden it went, and then all of a sudden I just heard like that, and I thought that sounds like someone's put. Did I put my trainers in the bloody tumble dryer? What the fuck is that noise? And it went bang bang. And I'm like, fuck. Okay, fair enough. And then I noticed the tumble dryer wasn't working, and then I thought, that's interesting. And I looked at the fuses on the plug out, which is in the kitchen. Nothing wrong with that. And then I'm looking at the light switches and all the fuse boxes, and everything seems fine. And then I went and looked under the cupboard where the tumble dryer is next to, and it turns out the tumble dryer is plugged into a like a little 4-gain. Which
again?
Yeah. See, this is the thing. See, for those of you who haven't been following the podcast for very long, my house, the previous owner of the house wanted to get everything to a certain place, but he never wanted to actually move the plug sockets. So
he never wanted to spend fucking money. That's what he never wanted to do.
So lots of my electrical gear appears to be plugged into extension cables round the back of sofas and underneath walls.
Wasn't the entire top floor of your house sort of like held together by like 2 extension leads plugged together? Behind the staircase.
It was my
orange garden leads.
It was
a sign marked "Beware the Panther" or something like that.
Yeah, beware of the leopard.
Beware of the leopard.
It was my it was the part of my kitchen that was in the extension. And basically it was four power strips chained together, and on the end of it was my dishwasher, my oven, and my fridge, all plugged in.
How long you been there?
I've been there now. Well, Lisa was born here, so about 16 years.
Right.
one power surge, and that could have been your lot.
Well, exactly. But that was the thing. See, the problem is, it's just like you don't think about it at the time, and then all of a sudden, it's just like one thing goes wrong, and you think, "Oh no." But anyway, so I looked at the tumble dryer and found that the tumble dryer was plugged into a 4-gain, and I thought, "Oh, that's not right." And then I looked on the back of the plug, and the back of the plug has actually got this massive brown smudge right through it. And I thought, "That's not right." So I turned all the power off. And I thought, I'll just take the plug out. I'll just take the plug out. And it turned out my plug had welded itself to the 4-gain. And I thought, nah, that's not right. And so obviously the power is off just before anyone panics. And I took a knife and a screwdriver and I jammed it into either side of my plug. And I lifted it up, and the whole of the underside of the plug was black, rusted, exposed wiring that was all melted.
Lee, can you do me a favour, mate? Have you got an Epic Games account by any chance?
Yes.
Okay. Have you seen what they've got for free?
Go on.
The Electrician Simulator. I want you to get that game. I want you to download it, and I want you to play it, and I want you to record the results, mate. All right, okay, that's what I want you to do. I saw that. I thought, I know who this is perfect for.
I know who's. Yeah. So I literally found out that my 4-gain that was plugged into a wall socket underneath a cupboard in my kitchen was actually about 30 odd years old. Because I mean, it was so old, it still had DuPont on it, and for those of you who are a certain age and remember plugs having DuPont on everything, it basically melted and taken my tumble dryer with it.
Are you thinking of naming your house? You know where people take the number off and they give it a name?
Amityville.
Right? No, I think you should call it. I think you should call it DS9, right? Because I don't even remember back in the first season, right? After they got the station, I think it was like about episode 2 or 3. They found all the booby traps under cupboards and shit like that throughout the entire station. This sounds like your house.
Yeah. We did pay an electrician to go all around our top floor and rewire all our plugs in the top floor, so that's all done. But the problem is that downstairs looked perfectly normal. It's just the kitchen that's just a disaster zone. I mean, we've done the fridge and the oven and the the dishwasher on one side. That's all done. But it's just like the tumble dryer's on a completely different side of the kitchen, and we just didn't even look at that. So yeah, great fun.
Wonderful.
But anyway,
it's just wow.
And again, the big problem is obviously that I have no sense of smell, so that thing could have been burning for about a good 20 minutes before I got to it. It was only the noise of the sound of what sounded like a tumble dryer with a shoe in it going round.
So this is connected by... Yeah, you said extension leads, like the 4-brick extension leads.
Yeah.
And each of them extension leads has a fuse in each of them, okay?
Yes.
And none of them popped at all?
No, because they were standard domestic 4-gains as opposed to one with a isn't it a 3 amp that you need in something big and heavy power loading?
No, it'd be 13
or 13 amp. Sorry, yeah. So yeah, they all had something like a 13 amp in them, and
right.
Yeah,
so they're all like daisy chained together.
Yeah,
and none of them went.
No.
And the only thing that failed was the actual plug itself. Not even the fuse inside the plug went.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. The whole fucking lot just went bang when it didn't even trip my fuse box. the actual 4-gain was the problem, because I think the 4-gain didn't have any fuses inside the brick bit.
It's just got a nail.
Yeah, exactly. Just a piece of steel girder just
I've
folded
seen that
around.
before as well. It's fucking terrifying when that happens.
Tiny bit of rebar shaved off and stuck in between two connectors. Yeah.
So, did you put like money on a lottery ticket as soon as you saw this? Because you were fucking lucky.
No, I think I burnt all my luck up. That's it.
Maybe.
I think I've done it now. So no. Luckily, I've it's all gone, and as it turns out, I've put in a new wire, on the a new plug and everything on the tumble dryer, and removed the 4 gain, and it now just goes straight to a plug in the wall like it was supposed to in the fucking first place, as opposed to some hanging off piece of plastic with a light in it that says DuPont on it from 1974.
Jesus.
So there you go.
Saying that, I mean, those DuPont 4-gang plugs, they go through a lot of punishment, didn't they? I think about getting one.
Well, you'd have to go back in time to do that, I think. But
I'm sure you get one on eBay.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. In fact, I'll tell you what, I can sell you one if you like. It's been
slightly used.
It's slightly used.
Tested.
Thoroughly
weathering
tested.
on it.
Exactly, a bit of weathering, needs a bit of clean up. At least 3 of the plugs out of the 4 are okay. Anyway, so that's that. Really, that was my week. So let's wrap that up and let's move on to the feedback. Now, the reason I'm doing this as quick as I can is because the feedback on the Facebook group. Last week we did Gone Baby Gone, which ended with us having a bit of a discussion, heated discussion of the moral dilemma. And we're not just talking about what's his name's moustache. A fine, magnificent massage. But anyway, no, we were talking about the moral dilemma at the heart of Gone Baby Gone. Now, if you haven't seen it, the next few minutes are going to be read back of certain feedbacks that we got. So that may still count as spoilers. So please, if you're not interested, just jump forward, say 10 minutes to the actual review, and we'll be right back with you. But I put on the Facebook group a poll because here we go, spoilers. I'm just going to do a quick spoiler. Here we go.
Shut up, Wesley.
Thank you. And basically, the poll came down to 3 things. Did anyone agree with my decision, which was the moral decision of leaving the child with Morgan Freeman? Jim and Elton's decision, which was the legal and right decision to basically put the kid back in the social services, return it to its mother? Or the Darren decision, which was, I don't know. See this fence? It's got a lovely seat on it. And so I can say to you quite categorically that the percentage votes were Darren's undecided decision got 17% of the votes. Jim and Elton's legal decision got 17% of the votes, and with a massive 66% of the votes, my decision. So everyone thought that it was better to leave the kid with Morgan Freeman and his lots of money and loving family.
No, wait. Mm-hmm. So, not to start the argument all over again.
You're starting the argument again.
Not to start the argument all over again, however.
You wouldn't let it lie, would you? You just wouldn't let it lie.
But what you're saying is people would rather Morgan Freeman look after the child instead of the actual character themselves.
Well, hang on. That wasn't the decision.
Which was one of my arguments about that film.
No, that wasn't the decision as presented. I literally
going on
just
the naughty step.
I just put Lee moral decision, Jim and Elton legal decision, Darren undecided. That was how I framed it. I did not say anything else. But we did get people voting, and we did get responses, which is here we are. And on the Facebook group, we had Matt Jones, who said, having just listened, I'm with you, Lee. Morality wins rather than the so-called law. While Mark LaHaye jumped in and said, the system in the film is obviously buggered. So with that in mind, I think the moral choice is the right call. But if, and it's a big if, the system was working as it should, then I would have voted the other way. David Giacola said, I'm always keen for the option of a secret third thing, such as finding a better home with a mother or Morgan Freeman. However, I realised it would be too much relies upon Elton's perfect world, perfect system, and it's a kind of idealism. Murray Christensen said, I went for don't know. Ideally, the system should work and she should be rehomed with a loving family. Likewise, the system is broken and there's no reason why we have that, and there is a reason why we have checks and balances, which simply leaving the child with Morgan Freeman seems to bypass. While we all like Batman punching muggers in fiction, the reality of a concept of a very rich person running around in the night beating up people he thinks are bad isn't a desirable thing. Replace Bruce Wayne with Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg and consider how perfectly innocent people should be beaten up for the wrong race in the wrong area. So yeah, the system is shit, largely because the rich don't pay their share, but vigilantism is equally problematic, which goes back to the thing I was saying about, we like vigilantes when they're doing things that we like them doing.
Yeah.
And that became a moral standpoint. Anyway, Jeffrey Mark Hyman came in and said there's always the Solomon option, which I questioned because I didn't actually know. To which he said,
slice a baby into.
Yeah, he said the biblical King Solomon, famed for his wisdom, was presented with the child custody argument. His answer was to cut the child in half and give that portion to each party. This prompted the biological mother to renounce her claim so that the child could survive, and Solomon granted custody to her, seeing as she was willing to sacrifice for the sake of the child. Which, in a roundabout way, is kind of where the druggy mum was initially, until she worked back to her old ways. Teresa Burnside, I don't know who that could possibly be, said, I'd be out of a job if Morgan Freeman went round saving kiddies all the time. I mean, he did play God, literally, so he can obviously live forever. He's going to need to, because if he pops his clogs, then someone's going to have to explain who that child is. He would need to magic up a birth certificate and some medical records too. I know I'm being flippant, but something that Patrick said rang true for me. He didn't want Amanda to come to him later on asking why he didn't act. It's all about identity. While she may have had a better life with Doyle, she would have had no idea where she came from or who she was. So, also, can you imagine her finding out how many people her granddad was willing to kill, including her own uncle, to steal her from her mother? I get the feeling that Patrick was going to be keeping a very close eye on Mum, as he knew that she was never going to change. He would take on the safeguarding role that the aunt was fulfilling before she was kicked out of Amanda's life by her mum. Sometimes in these situations, that's the best you can hope for. And then we have Odile Thomas, who said, it's a hard decision to make, and I was close to joining Darren's corner, but I decided to go with Lee on this one. That being said, I find it rather interesting and frankly hypocritical that Patrick can be so high and mighty about Morgan Freeman's character kidnapping the child to give her a better life, alongside more selfish reasons for himself and his wife, I'm well aware. But he himself had no problems playing judge, jury and executioner, shooting a mentally deficient paedophile in the back of the head. That was not self-defense in any way, shape or form. He did hand himself into the cops? No, did he hand himself into the cops? No, he didn't. Is kidnapping a kid to give her a better life worse than killing somebody? I don't think so, but who am I to judge? But either you trust the system or you don't. But don't be Patrick and pick and choose what is convenient to you. Thankfully, this is fictional. We do not have to make this choice for real, as I would most certainly likely join Jim and Elton. And finally, we have a written email coming into feedback@blackdogpodcast.com from Pete Collins, who wrote to say, hello, Black Dog. Just want to weigh in on the Gone Baby Gone discourse. I think Lee's points on the captain keeping the child are a little marred by the final shots with the mum, I've forgotten everybody's names, and the kid, where it's easier to see that the mum hasn't made any changes she vowed to do earlier. The mum's got rid of her shitty friend, but she's also lost the support of those around her that were taking care of the child. If they'd been around, then maybe the kid would be in an okay position. But the mum is still relying on others to fill in where she should be. By the end of the film, we can see the mistake Casey has made and may have made more clearly. But Morgan Freeman taking the kid isn't necessarily the right choice. What happens when she needs to go to school or get an education? How is that going to work? What happens if Freeman decides that they don't like the kid anymore? Can they just ditch her and have her magically return after being kidnapped? They have the freedom to opt out at any time if it doesn't work out. What happens when they get old and the kid is left to fend for themselves? It's just not a complete plan, as there's a lot of questions for long term. I feel there's numerous alternative options that don't get explored. They probably could have paid the mum off to keep the kid, or at least agreed to look after her, freeing the mum from the responsibility. I don't think either choice is that good, and I would side with Casey that the kid should return to the mum, but only because it's a place of control where you can keep tabs on the kid and intervene as necessary. With the captain, maybe they disappear off somewhere, try and forge a new life. I just don't know what their plan is, and those holes make me think that it can't be trusted to work. By giving the child back to the mum, you have the option to get social services involved, and maybe the kid ends up with Freeman anyway. Anyway, I thought the film was good, and I don't think I've ever seen it, and I would never have seen it were it not for your recommendation. So thanks for that. Pete Collins. There you go.
Cool.
There you go. Just barreled through all those feedbacks there. So there you go. That was a feedback block and a half. Thank you, everyone.
I feel like I could still discuss that for well over an hour. I'm not going to, but I feel like I've got it in me to do more.
And me too. We can go at it again. Everyone
Next
sit
week.
back. Yeah, next week, Lee and Elton side quest, Black Dog side quest, as they argue for 55 minutes. That was a good discussion. Thank you very much. And if anybody has anything else similar to add, ow, my ears. Well, thank you, Jim. Sorry about that. If anybody else,
what happened there?
and me neither. But if anybody else has anything they wish to add, or wish to comment on another podcast episode that we've done, then by all means do so by sending in emails to feedback@blackdogpodcast.com like Pete Collins did, or jumping on the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast, and we'll read it out, stick the comments underneath the episode. Right, that's it then. We'll take a break there. We'll go and earth Jim. We'll find out if he needs to be taken out and plugged into a 4-gain socket next to my tumble dryer, and then we'll be back for the social network. Let's roll the jingle. Right, so The Social Network is a 2010 American biographical drama film directed by David Fincher and written by Aaron Sorkin, based on the 2009 book The Accidental Billionaires by Ben Mesrich. It portrays the founding of the social networking website Facebook. It stars Jesse Eisenberg as Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg, Andrew Garfield as Eduardo Severin, and Justin Timberlake as Sean Parker, Armie Hammer as Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, and Max Minghella as Devia Narendra. Sorry, choking there. Neither Zuckerberg nor any other Facebook staff were involved with the project, though Severin was a consultant for the book. The film was released September 24th, 2010. The New York Film Festival, and later in October worldwide. The film is 120 minutes long. It had a budget of $40 million. And how much do you reckon it made at the box office, Jim?
25 million pokes.
Nice. Okie dokie. Darren.
30,000 likes.
Nice. Okay. Elton?
Well, I'll scrub my 2 off there then. Damn it. How much did it make?
40 million. It's box office. Nothing. Well, actually, you're all wrong, because you better lawyer up, arsehole, because I'm going to come for everything.
Fair play.
There you go. So, it made $224.9 million, which is almost as much as you will earn if you had if you had one share of Facebook now. Anyway, so that's it really. We're going to go around the table, go see what everyone thought of it very briefly, no spoilers. And we will start with you, Darren. What do you think of The Social Network?
Ooh, that was a lot.
Well, firstly, have you seen it before?
Never seen it before. I've heard the soundtrack, but I've never actually watched the film.
Okay.
At all.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of them things, isn't it?
Yes.
These films about the rich and famous. Yeah, about people who get into that sort of lifestyle. They all kind of go the same way, really. Mm-hmm. Even the real life ones. Mm-hmm. It kept me engrossed. I wanted to see where it all went, and that, as in how this and everything. It was a little bit confusing because it took me at least 15 minutes in before I realised that, oh, wait a minute, this is all flashbacks. Right, okay, no problem. All I'll say is it made me feel, it was an uncomfortable watch. It really was. It was a bit horrible. I don't think I'm going to want to see it again. Not taking away anything from the skill of making the actual film and the performances in it, because they were all so really good. But I don't know if anybody ever had this, that you suddenly dislike an actor an awful lot just because of the role they've played, because they embodied it so well. And that's got to be Justin Timberlake for me.
Okay.
It's just, didn't really have anything against Justin Timberlake, but I don't know, it's just So he was very convincing in that role, and it's
was it like the end of Return of the Jedi? Was there a massive pile of NSYNC stuff on your lawn just burning by the end of this?
I think so. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. So there we go. He wasn't bringing sexy back in this one. No. He wasn't bringing anything back. No.
Cry me a river. Anyway. So were you? Did you like the film? Generally?
Well, it kept me engrossed. It's another one of them films. It's like, do you really want to say you enjoyed this? I didn't really get it. It wasn't enjoyment so much as I thought it was a good film. Okay, so I thought it was good, if a little bit confusing in places.
Okay.
And also with these sort of biographies, it's like, how true is this? What's the truth and what's done for entertainment? You see,
okey-dokey.
I think We Will Rock You was the one that that's the film that...
You mean Bohemian Rhapsody?
Bohemian Rhapsody. That was the film that kind of really killed this sort of genre for me. It's it really brought it home.
And so it's
like, how much you can't really trust it. No. So, what's the truth here? Especially if they only had one person who was involved consulting on it, that being one of the disgruntled people who felt as though they'd been ripped off.
Well, I mean, let's be honest,
how
they
much
fucking well were, but
Yeah.
I mean, taking all your shares and turning them into worthless paper is, Anyway, right. So we'll move on to Jim. Jim.
Yes.
What do you think of it?
Well, this is the first time watch for me as well. It's one I didn't really know what to expect, and I didn't do any homework, so let's just go in blind and see what it is. I was quite glad it wasn't kind of Mark Zuckerberg, lust for power. It wasn't sort of really lionizing him at all. In fact, I don't think anyone comes at this looking particularly well. But it was beautifully shot, really well acted. It was actually funnier than I expected it would be. But it's not a comedy, but there are some good witty one-liners and some good scenes that are actually, I think, generally actually very funny indeed. And I did really enjoy it. I thought it was fascinating. Was a fascinating watch. I'm not sure how I'd sort of sum it up a classic. It's a bit of an strange film, really, because I don't know. He's well, no one comes out very good.
No,
and that's I don't know. It's just a bit of an odd one like that. But I say a very rewarding watch. Put it that way. That's probably a better way of summing up than enjoyed it. A very rewarding watch, and it was kind of a masterclass in acting.
Cool. Okie dokie. This is my second watch. And like I say, I think the first time I watched it was way back in sort of when Black Dog season 1, sort of back in the really, really early days, like episode 10 or 11. So like when this film first came out, I think I went to cinema to see it. And frankly, the problem I have with it, and it hasn't gone away, is that while you admire how it's made and how it's written, I come away detesting every single person in it, and find that because of that, and because they're so actively repellent to everything I could possibly glom onto, I just, my brain just goes, no, I don't care. I absolutely hate all of you fuckers. And if there was just a car crash right in the middle of middle act, and you all just went straight into the fucking river and exploded, I'd go, do you know what? I wasted an hour, but you ended up in a fiery death ball at the bottom of the lake, and I'd be perfectly happy with that. In fact, I'd probably make some kind of pilgrimage to the fiery death ball river and salute.
Bring those marshmallows, man.
Yeah, I there's so much about all of the characters in this that I detest almost to my very core. It's a bit like how I imagine it feels being a vampire and then walking into a sort of like a shop which is filled with garlic.
Yeah.
You just, every single part of me just is just revolted by all of it and just wants to get as far away from it as possible. But like I say, from a filmmaking point of view, Fincher can definitely shoot this well. Aaron Sorkin is the master of what I call densely packed, overlapping Archer speech. You know, where one person is in one scene saying a sentence and it gets answered in a completely different scene.
Yeah.
By a completely different character in a completely different context. So it's like, you know, it's that kind of, was it? You know, it looks like an enormous Johnson. What are you doing here? You know, kind of thing. And, you know, and you've got to admire the writing, if nothing else. But fuck me, if it'd been one of those interactive games where you're supposed to sort of like listen to someone telling you their life story, I would have kicked them out the fucking window and saluted all the way down, and then just pissed on them from a great height if it was VR. I just hated every single person in it, and I couldn't enjoy the movie at all. I just can't from that point of view, because it's just like, it's like being in a pub with the worst people in the world, and you just know that you've got another hour of sitting here because you can't politely leave because it's someone's birthday. It was just that for me for 2 hours. It's like, I hate every one of you. I don't care. I have no investment in any of you. I don't care that you ended up the way you are. I just hate you intensely. So I suppose job done, I guess, if that was their aim. But, you know, I just no. So what about you with that one?
Well, this is, I want to say, third or fourth watch of this. But I haven't watched it in a long, long time. I saw this in the cinema.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, just before I get into that as well, Darren, you said about Bohemian Rhapsody. Weirdly enough, this film has the person that played John Deacon in Bohemian Rhapsody, who played Little Tim in Jurassic Park as well.
There you go.
Wow. Nice.
But, that aside.
Did he know Linux back then? I know this is Unix.
No, that was his sister that knew all like the stuff and...
Oh, that's true.
on the computer, and don't worry, it's just like box in a box in a box in a box. Shut up. Anyway, sorry. So this is like third or fourth watch for me. I remember watching this first time round and absolutely loving it. And I think it was because it felt like a quick pace. It was very different to the films I'd seen before. I was very still thinking I was very good at watching movies, and I'd seen all the movies I'd seen, and look at me, aren't I a wonderful movie buff? Little did I know, this was like before the internet. I really got my hands on the internet and stuff like that. So, it was one of the movies where I felt like a bit of a aficionado on movies, and look at me watching a talkie movie, and it's very quick-witted and quick dialogue and rapid fire, and you really have to keep up with it.
Yeah.
And now, I was a little bit disappointed with it, I must admit.
Yeah.
It wasn't as snappy as I was expecting. Just ramming words into sentences quickly doesn't make it more intelligent than what it actually is. And I've learned that from experience as well. But it's I think it's well shot. It's a very dark movie as well. But I think that goes with the nature of nerds. They love their night owls naturally. And
what are you saying?
I'm saying we're a bunch of nerds, and we're recording this at like
11:45 at 9.
Yeah,
yeah.
And we, it's always like a candlelit or side lamp lighting around everything. And
are you sitting in my fucking house? What's going on?
No, I've just got a side light next to me.
I do.
Yeah. But I can relate to that, but it's not as sharp as it once was when it first came out, I don't think. You're right. I don't think the people come across as good, honest people, but I think you're meant to feel that way. I don't think it's a case of, well, these are really good people anyway. No, I don't think any of them are really standout citizens. They're all out for themselves, and they're all a bit sleazy and a bit slimy, and just want to create something that they can own themselves. And the Sean Parker character is
a pedo,
weaselly little fucker, if anything. Is he? He's not a pedo though, is he?
Well, he's not far off. I mean,
but he's not though. I don't think we can say that.
It's kind of inferred.
I think it's inferred, but
legally speaking, we can't say for sure.
No.
So we won't. But
bunch of tossers. But
as portrayed in the film, he was, shall we say, legally careless in who he invited to his parties.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. That's a good one.
Legally careless.
Legally careless.
Have you been legally careless?
in an accident that wasn't your fault? Yeah, exactly.
But I think it was acted very well. I think it looked great. I think the script is clever, but once again, it's just not as sharp as what I remember it being. And it's the first film I think I saw Andrew Garfield in, but I didn't know he was Andrew Garfield. I only realised that a long time after.
So the titles and the credits didn't give it away.
No, they didn't. No, not one bit. No.
Right.
You know, it's like when you go back and go, oh, he's in it. Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, it's one of them.
Yeah.
I kind of get blind-faced by a lot of things sometimes.
I was like that when I saw Jean-Claude Van Damme in Breakdance 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Is he in that?
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
Is that the one that we saw?
Yes.
Yeah, we did a whole charity episode on that one.
Yeah.
That's the Vanilla Rice one, isn't it?
No, that's cool as ice.
Dog shit.
Yeah, cool as dog shit.
Ice. Cool as ice. Cool as ice. Cool as ice.
No, we did Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo. That was the one before.
Oh, okay.
And yes, and there's Jean-Claude Van Damme in a crowd dancing backwards and forwards in a unitard.
I can't remember that.
You know, it's probably for the best, if I'm honest.
But okay, I can appreciate it for what it is. I don't think there's much in the way of spoilers in this anyway. But yeah, okay. It's
okay. I'm only saying spoilers. I don't want to get into spoilers because I just think it's not so much spoilers. It's more just kind of little moments in the film that, you know, better if you don't know that they're happening.
Yeah.
But you know, at the end of the day, we know who ended up where. Really, I mean, you only have to look on the internet. Ha ha ha.
I think it's one of them films that people should see just for the sake of seeing it, and then file it away as, I've seen that one. I think there are a plethora of movies I should have picked, could have picked, but didn't pick because this has been on my list for a long, long time to do. And now I've done it.
Well, it's fine.
I'm me going back to it, realizing it's not as witty, not as sharp as it once was. I kind of needed that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the original premise of the original version of this podcast, isn't it? Is it as good as you remember? And you know, I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing to revisit some of these things. I mean, you know. I could have quite easily looked at this and gone, it's amazing. I've really dug it this time round. You know, I've done it before. I can do it again.
Well, I know you struggle with Jesse Eisenberg.
As a rule, yes. I don't tend to like him as an actor anyway.
I really like him in this.
But yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I suppose we better just fire up the spoiler warning before we go any further into that. But let's do the spoiler warning. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen Social Network, you've heard our initial thoughts. Go and pause the episode, go and watch the film, come back, past the cacophony of sound bars that I've got going on, and then and then we'll be on the spoiler zone talking about it. So here we go. Here's your spoiler warning. Let's do this.
Baby, Cobra, money plane. Of course!
Put your helmet on. We'll be reaching speeds of 3.
Shut up, Wesley.
Right, anyway, here we are. I load these bloody things up now only for the spoiler zone bit.
Yep.
I mean, really, I don't use them in the Policy podcast anymore. So, yeah, you were saying about Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. I have a problem with him as an actor. Just simply because, along with him, what's the other one? Michael Cera? Is it Michael Cera? Who's bloody...
Probably, yeah. He's looked very similar.
The Weasley twat from
Michael Cera.
From Michael Cera. No. Scott Pilgrim, that's it. The Weasley twat from Scott Pilgrim and Juno. People who kind of fashion themselves on being wussy and weak and fall into that kind of category. I find it hard to kind of connect with them in the first place. But then when they kind of, it feels like that affecting the weaseliness, the whininess. It kind of turns me off. It's a bit like, if a character kind of is the way they are in the film, then that's fine. But if they're kind of employed for that particular trait and they kind of really lean into it, Michael Cera in Arrested Development. He's a kind of nerdy kid. Okay, that's fine. But when he's playing that same character 20 years later, you think, oh, for fuck's sake, mate, get over it and just try doing actual acting as opposed to just standing there looking like a wet flannel and going,
Yeah, but won't film directors and producers hire someone because they fit that pigeonhole?
Yeah. But I mean, that's what I'm trying to say is it's just that kind of thing immediately puts me off. And
there's definitely two sorts of actors. There are those who shall say the status quo school of acting, where you hire them to do that 4-chord song again.
Exactly. Yes. And that for me is Jesse Eisenberg and Michael Cera and a couple of others that are just like, I just think, no, as soon as I see you, I'm already, the film's already on a back foot. But, yeah, I don't like having to watch a film where I don't like anyone. And that's probably a good place to start. You guys, this is open to all of you. Do you need to have a character? Do you need to have a film where at least one character is someone you empathize with or at least understand?
For me, I don't think characters have to be likable. They have to be interesting and compelling.
Yeah,
and I think this, although all the characters are bloody awful, there are shades of awful and degrees of awful and types of awful that are rubbing up against each other, which make it interesting. I mean, it was kind of. I know kind of obviously Sorkin has dramatized things from the book, but I did look up. The book is quite sort of well researched, telling the story of how a lot of these sort of things, like Facebook got started, and it is kind of, there are some wildly different personalities involved. And I found this. I kind of, even though I didn't like the characters, I was intrigued by how it was all unfolding and how they were. Sort of bouncing off each other. It's going to end up with them all not talking effectively.
Yeah.
It's just the journey getting there. I thought was quite well put together. I say without lionizing any of them, which they don't deserve.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you agreed with that, Dal? You were saying?
Yeah, I think as Jim said, they don't have to be likable. They just have to be compelling and interesting to watch. On the subject of likability, anyway. Personally, I thought the only one who had any redeeming features was Eduardo.
Yeah,
he was about the possibly the most understanding character. He kind of. And I've been doing some research into Mark Zuckerberg and stuff, because looking at the start of this film, when he's in the bar with his girlfriend, looking at the way he's acting, it's like, I think I spot something there. And I was right, because Mark Zuckerberg has actually come out and said that he is autistic. So now this calls into question why he does what he does. And this is where Eduardo, I think, is possibly the nicest character in it, because I can see he understands that that's the way his brain thinks. And he's it's like the girlfriend, when he's talking to her, I can see she understands where his brain is, how he sees things. And you notice that even though, any other character in the film might lose their temper with him, she doesn't for quite a while. And this is exactly what Eduardo does. I think he understands, well, if this is all true, this is how it went down, then I think he has an understanding of how Mark's brain works and how he sees things. And even though being that way is not a license to be a dick at all, in any way, shape or form, I think he knows that there's what's the right way to say it? He doesn't give him leeway, but he knows how to react to him in any given situation, whereas any other person wouldn't understand that. And I'm not trying to make Zuckerberg off as a good guy at all, completely and utterly, because there are times when, you know, he does things that is quite clearly out of anger.
Right. Okay.
It's a real difficult it's a real difficult thing to try and navigate and talk about with this.
Is it though? Because I mean, you know, I mean,
it's saying the right. It's trying to word it right, if you know what I mean.
Well, I was just going to say, you know, how much leeway do you give someone? Because the thing is,
exactly
on the one hand, you're saying, okay, he's got. You're saying autism? Is that what you're suggesting, or what?
Well, it's come out. He's actually Mark Zuckerberg himself. From what I'm seeing, he's actually come out and said that he is autistic,
right? Which is fine, except then you get later on down in the film, he actually does confess to the fact that he stuck the story about the chicken in, and he blogged about the girlfriend having sort of small boobs, and you know.
This is what I mean about doing the stuff out of anger, right? That's not very nice at all, you know. And that's not a license to do that sort of thing, because you are on the spectrum. That's not a license to be horrible to people.
No.
And up to a point, more than anyone else, I think Eduardo gives him. You know, he tries to. I think he understands him a lot more than anyone else. There, and that's why I say he's the better character, because I don't know. There's a thing with him, and what's the words I'm trying to look for?
I think Eduardo's grounded. He's still,
yes, he is.
He's in touch with his humanity. He's not like the fucking Winkle twits.
No,
who are just completely obsessed with their own egos and are literally narcissistic.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, is it gay if it's with yourself? Well, I don't know. Just putting that out there.
Allegedly.
But, you know, it's kind of, you know, Mr. Napster is
the total antithesis.
A piece of work, shall we say.
God,
but Eduardo
Christ,
has his number from that first meeting. From the minute before he even meets him, when he's late, Eduardo has a good idea what this guy's going to be like, and he is spot on.
Yeah,
and he does manipulate Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh yes,
he knows. I think he spots. He knows what buttons to push. Definitely, and he takes advantage. He takes advantage of that, which makes him even more of a shittier person. In this, still, you know, how they portray him in this film anyway.
Yeah, I don't think we should be worried about the real life people. I've doing many podcasts where you're trying to relate to real life and people pull you up for it. It's not worth trying to appease those people. What we're here to do is like review the actual movie presented to us. And as much as we want to keep it and like to talk about the real life going alongside the movie, sometimes it's impossible. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think, don't worry, I'm not worried about them coming and suing us, for Christ's sake. I mean, blimey, the amount of people who listen to us, you could probably fit in a room. But
I know that.
But the thing is, you know, I think my problem comes down to this film wants, and it is the biggest problem for me, is this film wants to have its cake and eat it. On the one hand, it wants to show you Zuckerberg and Eduardo and Sean and all the others, including the Winklevoss twins, and give you a kind of... It wants to sit there and go, look at all these stuck-up, you know, educated, privileged arseholes wasting their life in college and then coming out on top and being like super rich and then fucking each other over and having it as some kind of condemnation of this kind of level of privilege. You know, we're all in Harvard, we're men of Harvard and all this kind of bollocks. It wants to do that, but then it also wants you to sit there in the background and go, actually, isn't that cool? And that to me is disingenuous, and that's the thing I think beyond the characters really pushes my fucking buttons. It's a hypocrisy in the film. That on one hand, it's sitting there and it's condemning everything. And it's going, oh, look, you know, these guys think they're owed everything because they're in Harvard. You know, Mark Zuckerberg thinks he's better than everyone else because he's made Facebook and he lives without consequences because he's too fucking intelligent. You got Sean, what's his name, doing exactly the same thing but being a con job guy. You've got Eduardo, but he's the stand-up guy. But then he's also the same guy who wants to get into every fraternity known to man and make deals down back alleys and cop off with girls because he's got groupies. And we're all supposed to sit there and go, oh, isn't that a disgusting, horrible, debauched lifestyle that, you know, the elite are kind of living? And then on the other hand, you're supposed to be sitting there going, oh, isn't it cool? They're abseiling off the top of the roof. Oh, isn't it cool? They're having a little party. Oh, isn't it cool? Look they've got this thing and they're doing all these cool things and Facebook now. And oh, look, Zuckerberg's got, you know, he's going to pay off the 600 million. He doesn't really care because he's making that in just sitting in the room staring out at the rain. He's so cool. And it's like, you can't have it one way or the other. If you're going to do a biography, then do a biography. If you're going to do a drama and come down on the fucking side. Don't do this fence-sitting bullshit going, oh, they're really crap. I hate these people, but aren't they cool? It's just like, fuck off.
Unfortunately, some of it is a bit cool, though. Like the hacking is a bit cool. Being a little bit tipsy and writing all this code is a bit cool, and then blogging about it is a bit cool. Blogging about your ex-girlfriend, not cool. But that sort of thing, and then having like a $1 million idea is a bit cool. And then someone turning around saying to you, yeah, but it's $1 billion idea. It's like, that's a bit fucking cool as well.
It's $100 million.
Yeah. That's the problem, though. It is a bit cool, but they're little shits a lot that go along with it. And they've created something that the whole world uses now that came out of the face mash and possibly someone else, like the Winklevoss's idea, and, you know, Zuckerberg kind of mashing it around and putting two things together and taking other people's ideas and pushing it all together. And it was for something to get them into like an elite position. And then we wonder why is Facebook a bit shit? It's because it was made by shits for shits, and now we've become shits because we're on it.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, everyone's going, oh, you know, Sean, you know, was not Sean. You know, you got people going, oh no, Eduardo was the stand-up guy. No, Eduardo was the guy who wants to put ads on everything. And now,
I can sympathise with him though, because he was fucked over.
Yeah, but I find it really hard to kind of sympathise with anyone because, yeah, he got fucked over, but he was just as happy fucking other people over.
Unfortunately, I think with him, he got fucked over when Sean stepped into the fold. And Darren, you're right when you say Eduardo kind of had the measure of Zuckerberg up until that point before Sean stepped in.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why they were best friends. And that was it. I think he understood him better than anyone else, which is why he oh, I need some money. Sure, no problem. Have some cash.
Yeah.
I think up until a point, he was, it's very hard to put into words. It's, he's very understanding of him. That's all. Basically, what I'm trying to say. He had compassion for him because he knew what he was like, and he knew that maybe it wasn't easy for him. So, whereas a lot of people, I don't think would have had that understanding, even though his girlfriend seemed to be on the same sort of line of reasoning. Because of the way she responded to that conversation to begin with, and then all of a sudden, she takes one hit too many, and that's it for her. She's like, as she says to him, going out with you is like dating a stairmaster, and she just doesn't have the strength anymore to deal with it. But you can also see, he doesn't understand some of the social cues. By the way, he's suddenly like, oh, I put a foot wrong. I'm really sorry about that. I think he genuinely actually means it, but he has to be brought up. He has to be, he has to be called out on it to actually realise what he's done.
Which again is fine at the start, but by the end you've got to turn around and go, okay, fine, he's got some kind of
like I say, it's not a license to be a complete and utter dick to people.
But the thing
really
is,
isn't.
You that's what I'm saying. The problem is the film. This is the can't have your cake and eat it moment. It's 1 minute you got what's the name, Rooney Mara saying you'll never go out. No girl will ever go out with you, not because you're a nerd, but because you're an arsehole. And then by the end of it, you got Rashida Jones standing in the doorway going,
and Perkins.
Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly.
Pavlovian response.
Exactly, yeah. going, you're not an arsehole, but you really try hard to pretend to be one. Mm-hmm. And it's like the forgiveness bit. It's like, at the start, everyone thinks you're an arsehole, but you know what? At the end, everyone knows how caring you are. It's like, fuck off.
That's my only problem with the film was that ending, because that just felt a bit Hollywood. Oh, but he's still missing his girlfriend who he fucked things up with, and he has regrets, and it's kind of, I'm sure he's crying all the way at the bank. You know what I mean? It didn't sort of sit well.
No,
with everything else, it didn't sort of connect.
No, exactly.
It was just kind of put there as a beat to end the movie.
And there he is sitting in the same room as his best friend who he's fucked over in a legal way. So it wasn't like a sort of like, oh, he just didn't get the social cues, he wasn't quite there. He fucked the guy over by devaluing just his shares. And it's just like, that's not slight fucking over. That's not missing social cues. That's being a grade A cunt.
But wouldn't that come from the social cues? So he kind of set him up to devalue his shares because he froze the account, which could have possibly sent Facebook under. It could have taken him off. And you know what Facebook is like, they never go down apart from when they do go down in a big way, and then everything goes down. But if he hadn't have frozen that account, well, the reason why he froze that account was because Sean was there, and he was getting elbowed out of his own company that he'd founded. So if he'd realised, if Zuckerberg had realised that's where you nip it in the bud at the very beginning, not down to where you whittle down someone's shares and screw them royally over.
So what are you saying? Are you saying that Zuckerberg didn't do that?
I'm not saying that he didn't do that. I think the social cues should have been maybe brought into question when Sean was there, and maybe Eduardo should have actually gone along with the ride. He felt very reluctant to go along for the ride with it. I think because Sean was enticing Mark out to California and pushing him in a direction that he didn't expect to go or didn't want to go. If he'd gone along for the ride, then he could have been in control of that situation and kept Sean under control, because I think he had the makings of him. He saw what a weaselly little fucker he was.
Yeah. That was a very satisfying bit when he goes to, just lunges at him slightly, and you see him kind of step back right in front of everyone.
Yeah.
And he goes, "I love sitting next to you because you make me feel like you make me feel like the toughest bloke in the room," or something like that.
So yeah. I think Eduardo had the makings of Sean, definitely.
But before any of that, you still had the fucking him over with the chicken story.
Yeah.
And you still had him fucking over, Rooney Mara with the blog about the tits. I mean, that's the problem. It's not like that's the big issue. The film hand waves those bits away and goes, yeah, he did those, but he did those in anger. But then when he sort of like does things like fucks over his mate for 1 minute he's 20 million quid's worth of shares, and the next minute it's like, oh, they're worth nothing. And it's like, yeah, well, maybe it's the social cues. Maybe Sean got involved. It's like, when do you turn around and say someone with a mental issue, takes responsibility for their actions? Because either Zuckerberg does or he doesn't. And I know that's kind of maybe me not understanding the issues involved in autism and all that kind of thing. But at some point, you have to turn around and go, no, he's not just a curious wunderkind who just doesn't understand the world, bloobly, bloobly, bloobly. You say, no, he fucking done his mate over because he's a petty little shit.
Yeah.
And he did it once, he did it twice.
That comes through all the way through, though, that he is actually very, very cold. And not ruthless isn't quite the right word, because that's kind of calculating, but he's just so driven. It's kind of, I'm going this way, and he neither cares nor wants to care if people are going to get crushed. He's going to completely just do his own thing, and you see that right from the word go. They said there's the Stairmaster element to him, that relentless. And I think the film lays that out. I don't think it lionizes him. It's only at the end where it kind of tries to put this little emotional human little bow at the end of the story, which isn't really necessary. It should just end with Anne Perkins blowing him off. Do you want salad? No, I don't actually, Mark. You're a cunt. Bye.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I agree. I mean, that's the thing. Yeah. Go on, sorry.
Said that is it's a tiny moment, really. I don't think it really. The film is asking you to sympathise with him at all, because he's like, you can see why he got cast as Lex Luthor. Put it that way, because he does come across as kind of. This is a man who will be a super volcano.
Oh, yeah.
I'd forgotten he was Lex Luthor.
Let's not go down that route. I'm not
next week's
under the carpet.
It's a good thing of showing how Mark didn't just make it by himself. I think there is this thought of, when you think of Facebook, you think of Mark Zuckerberg. Because he's like the face of it, and he's a head honcho of it, but he clearly wouldn't have made it without a lot of help along the way. A lot of help from Eduardo with the money, and the other people doing all the coding, and then even Sean coming along and shaking people's hands. He needed that foot in to push it up that little bit extra. Someone has already done this sort of thing, has walked this path, and it's not just Mark in a room creating a website and buying a domain name and then putting it out there, and then suddenly the whole world using it. There's a lot of work that goes into this, a lot of turning cogs in this as well. Lots of little cogs and lots of big cogs, but they're all needed to get to where it is today.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess they're dramatizing a lot of it, because if they didn't, then it's just Mark Zuckerberg eating pizza, sitting in the dark in his pants, making a website, isn't it? Really, for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
But
there's that social story underneath as well, like you say about the Harvard side of things, which felt really sleazy. About they've stole my intellectual property. Yeah, but have you got a contract? Have you got anything like that? And it's all this entitlement that runs along with it as well. Just because you fucking row doesn't mean you get to have an audience with the principal of the university.
That scene with the principal, though.
Yeah.
Miss Johnson,
my favourite
you punch me in the
character
face?
was the principal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just putting them in their place and just like, behold how many fucks I give about your petty bullshit.
What was that thing he said? You have no, you have no grounding in this to make comment. He goes, I used to be the Undersecretary for the Treasury?
Yeah.
I think I do have some grounding in this situation. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Shithead.
Yeah, let me just get Mr. President on the phone and he can tell you exactly how good I am with this sort of shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's, again, it's that whole, that bit I thought, fine, this is where the film's coming from. It's this kind of, look at the privilege, look at the entitlement, look at that lot, and then having the sort of Zuckerbergs of this world just coming along and puncturing it. Now that I get on board with. It's the idea of, people who think they're owed something because they've said something, and then it coming along and someone else is going, no, your verbal contract isn't worth the paper it's written on. And on top of that, there's a kind of implication that they never paid him for anything. And it's just like, okay, cool. Then in which case, fuck you guys, I don't care. And that to me was kind of another bit of the puzzle of this film, where you sort of keep coming back to them in the boardroom and the legal wrangling backwards and forwards, and I'm just thinking, these guys have nothing. They've got no claim to anything.
Nope.
Yet somehow they're sitting there feeling entitled to something that they haven't done or owned. And you get the kind of Zuckerberg kind of zapping him back, with a bit of an Aaron Sorkin zinger about, I'm doing things none of you people in this room could even imagine. I'm doing it all the way over there, and that's why you're only getting the barest minimum of my attention.
And he's not wrong.
But the point is, it's kind of, Aaron Sorkin's kind of dialogue is that kind of zinger, cool, quick wit, cut down, chop you to the neck, sort of, with a witty comeback, And on that side of the fence, it's like, oh, yeah, now you're supposed to be rooting for Zuckerberg, going, yeah, stick it to the man, yeah. But then on the other side of the fence, you're seeing him do exactly the same to his best mate and robbing him of money.
Yep.
And it's just like, so again, I get that real life is messy and dirty and complex and that sort of thing, but all the time it's kind of making excuses for Zuckerberg all the time, that he's either sticking it to the man or he doesn't have social cues to understand what he's doing to his mate and all this kind of thing. It's like, fuck off, either he's responsible or he's not.
There's also bits where it doesn't treat you like a fool, but it doesn't explain itself very well either, or it does explain itself, but it's lost in the dialogue. So you have a moment where you have Sean and Mark turn up in a car outside a big building, and Mark's in his dressing gown and jimmy jammies, and Sean sends him upstairs and I'm not too sure what to do to try and get money, but also to just flip someone off and fuck someone over that I think screwed over Napster and brought down Napster. I think that's what it is anyway.
Yeah.
But it's not explained. None of it is explained. I like it for that. And I'm also a bit like, well, are you going to tell me? Or is this some sort of fucking nerdy inside joke?
I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that. Beyond the fact that I think that it was just Sean using. It became like of mice and men. It's like Lenny sending off, George sending off Lenny to go and beat someone up.
Right.
It's like I'm gonna get Mark Zuckerberg, the most powerful man in the world, who doesn't understand his place in the world, really, because, hey, he doesn't understand social cues in this particular moment. And I'm going to send him off into a place which is an investment place that turned me down. I'm going to have him rock up and go, fuck you to those guys.
Yeah.
And leave and say, I'm here on behalf of Sean, which then reflects good on Sean, because Sean's obviously got this really, really, really powerful man with really, really amazing tech.
Yep.
And it's basically Sean manipulating the whole situation, saying, you go in there and fuck him over and you'll be my best friend. So he goes in there, fucks him over, but they're going, hang on, Sean's just made this guy walk into our office.
Yeah,
they don't give a shit that he's insulted them. They're more impressed by the fact that that Sean's managed to do that.
It's
and again, it does that whole thing of, Zuckerberg doesn't understand, but then 5 minutes later he understands everything. He's like fucking Brainiac crossed with Magneto. He crossed with Charles Xavier. He knows everything. But 5 minutes later, it's like, oh no, he's not socially quite right. It's just like, fucking pick a lane. Go on.
It's
go on.
Like I say, doesn't give him license to be a dick, and he has been a dick in it, right? Okay, it's just it's very hard to explain.
You seem worried about saying something.
It's. I mean, every case of autism is different.
Yeah,
every case of autism.
I make no aspersions on anyone with autism or anything like that. I'm not damning that. I'm just damning the film's portrayal of it in this.
Yeah, it's one of the things that is that you can get with this. It's the easily influenced by others, right, and taking cues from around what they see around them and acting on that. And where things like Sean is concerned, there is actually I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's the advantage that some individuals take with people with autism. There is a name for it. I think it's called mate syndrome or something like that. And it's where you can get people, taking money from them, getting all the cash from the person.
Yeah.
And just basically getting them into a position where they can't do anything. And they're literally making money off of that individual. It's
a form of social manipulation, because
it is the
person
and there is a name for it, and I can't remember it off the top of my head. And this is what Sean does, and because he also says the right words, because he also says there's that narcissism angle where they know how to play. They know the right words to say to play a person, right? You've got that on top of it as well, and because he says the right words, Mark Zuckerberg starts thinking that is the right way to act, and he starts being very influenced by him, and that is why he goes in and does what he does, because I can't see anyone else really doing that,
Well, that's why he gets the business card with "I'm the CEO, bitch." It's because that's Sean there.
Exactly.
And I think you see him look at that and go, "Oh, yeah, that's not me."
Yeah, But then that's the other thing. It's trying for that. It's aiming for that kind of Citizen Kane. You know, the only thing he ever loved was his sled sort of thing. It's
exactly. And this is what I say about the whole thing. The angle of this is a Hollywood production, and how much of this actually did or didn't happen. How did it go down this way? You're looking at it from somebody else's point of view who's not one person who is disgruntled. That's the only official sort of source that they've got in. I think did you say it was one of the guys that that got screwed over in the film was the
Eduardo.
one was it Eduardo they actually went to see and talked to
for the
about
book.
this?
Yeah, he was consulted for the book.
Right, for the book, but not for the film.
No, he was consulted for the book, which this film is based off of, The Accidental Billionaires.
Yeah.
Which was written by hold on a sec. It was it was written by Ben Mesrich about the founding of Facebook, adapted by Aaron Sorkin in 2010. Co-founder of Facebook, Eduardo Saverin, served as Mesrich's main consultant, although he declined to speak with him while the book was being researched. After Zuckerberg and Severin settled their lawsuit, Severin broke off contact with the author. There you go. And Mesrich maintains the book is not a work of fiction, despite his narrative style of writing. Some of his sources are his conversations with Facebook co-founder Eduardo Severin and the court documents made available to him because, quote unquote, all these college kids were just suing each other. So there you go.
Because they had bundles of cash and kind of could just do it.
Yep, that's right.
It was the thing to do, wasn't it?
Yeah. So,
I think the film does try to portray Mark as a redeemable character towards the end, with the look of when you have Sean and he's getting busted and he's got coke all over his hands and he's on the other end of the phone. Who does he phone? He phones Mark. Mark is there. Okay, don't worry about it. I will sort this. It's going to be news. It's going to fuck us over. It's not quite like giving chicken some chicken, but you know, it's big enough to make news, and it's going to be on the internet all over the place. And you see him break away. You see him with his card and the bitch on there, and he kind of redeeming himself from that, and and then trying to send a friend request. By the way, do we all remember when Facebook looked like that? That was God.
That was a moment.
That was a long time ago.
Also, on the very first Facebook page. Now, I was never on it then, but I know that the header that they used, I think they used Jesse Eisenberg as like the picture on there. I'm not too sure, but in the real life version, they had a picture of Al Pacino, I think it was.
I don't know.
On the header? Yeah, I'm sure it was Al Pacino that was on the header.
Really?
But I don't think they could get the rights to Al Pacino to be on the Facebook header.
Was he advertising Dunkachinos?
Probably.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes it's hard because then we could just go into the real life Facebook and, is it good for people and is it bad for people? I'm still on the fence with that, really, to be honest.
The double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It's like anything. If you surround yourself with a bunch of friends, Facebook is good. If you just surround yourself with 400 to 500 randoms who have all sent you Facebook likes because they've liked something that's been shared by someone else who's been shared by someone else, then you're going to have a fucking horrible time. This is just going away from the film for a second, but when I was at Cartoon, my Facebook friends page was count was somewhere in sort of like the 300-400s, and because people just search for the fucking title, and then they find you, and then they send you a friend request, and you think, oh, I don't know who this person is, but they seem cool, and you just go yes, but you put them on a sort of acquaintances list, and you carry on, but you eventually end up with a news feed that's like fucking thousands of tons of just generated shit.
Yep.
And soon as I'd left CN, I started to crop that right back. But the amount of people who got very cross because I did that and crop it back, I had like 3 or 4 Facebook culls, as I called them, until I got to where I am now, which is kind of like about 100 people. And they have 100 people that I know or have at least had more than one contact with. If I don't speak to someone for like months and months and months and months and months, and then all of a sudden they just pop up and go, like and share this if you have a cup, then it's like, right, you're on my cull list, goodbye, and slowly but surely I'm still whittling it down.
I have a cup, Lee. Can you milk me?
Yes, I can. I've been milking you on this podcast for the last 20 years. No,
you just love those posts where they go, "Oh, I know nobody's going to read this and respond, but this, that, and the other, and I've got a cauliflower for an ear, and if you think that's a bad thing, share this with everyone." Yeah.
Because it's a fucking chain letter, and that's the thing. It's stuff like that with Facebook is just bollocks, and it annoys me when I see it because I just think it just reminds me once again that people are just unthinking idiots who just want to have some kind of connection with anyone or anything, regardless. It's like I don't care that I'm sharing a big pile of shit saying that dinosaurs are real and living at the bottom of Lake Titicaca or whatever the fuck it is. I don't. It's like, why? I don't care. Why would I need to know this? You're clearly having some kind of mental breakdown. Please stop sharing the fact that Quetzalcoatl's coming back, and he's going to eat all of your tins of spam. I don't care about that. It's just fuck off. But, so if I'm following you on Facebook, it's because I want to follow you. And similarly, I let you follow me because I don't mind you knowing my stuff. But fuck me, that Facebook as a rule, people say it's a shit show, but it's like, yeah, and it's no different than Twitter or any of the other social medias.
Can I just ask, by the way, of the friend requests you get through now, what percentage of them do you actually accept? Because I hardly accept any these days. Everybody I know, I'm already friends with. Everybody I want to be everybody I want on Facebook as a friend, I've normally, already sent a request to them.
Yeah,
or whatever. I think I had somebody sent me a friend request from a site because I actually added something like a comment on a post they put in. And so automatically I got a friend request for that. It was like, I don't think so. Yeah. I've not actually I've not deleted the request because if you keep it in there on hold, they can't send you another one. That's it. You block it out. So those ones just get, that's it. The button doesn't get reactivated. So it's like, well, you're only going to try and send me another one. So fuck it. So I just leave them sitting there to rot. And they can't send me another one after that.
Yeah, I've got one from Cara May, and she sat there in her pants, basically. And I'm like, I
Who?
don't know you. I don't know. Cara May. Ever heard of her?
Cara May?
No.
No.
So I get one of them every now and again. I'm like, well...
Has she invited you to see some pictures, by any chance?
Yeah, the porn ladies, they come in waves.
Yep. They
also
certainly
strange random things where it's like some scammer pretending to be a real person. It's normally they make some rookie error, like it's a man's name and a woman's photo.
Yeah.
And things like this. I'm a US Marine, served for 40 years. And then it's a picture of a middle-aged woman. Didn't think this through, did you? Oh, you go.
But that's the thing. It's like when... I guess we've finished talking about the film for a second. But I mean, as far as it goes, I mean, I don't mind being a friend with someone. I mean, like I say, I'm looking at it now. I've got it down from looking at my old trends, but I got it down from when I was at Cartoon. I had 522. Just looking back on my history, and now I'm on 120. And of the 120, I'm pretty sure that I've seen posts by every one of them and like majority of them. And it's like, that's fine. That's cool. I'm down with that. But when you get, when you have like 7,000 fucking friends and they're all posting AI shit, then it's got a value of 0, Facebook, because it's just you trying to get a popularity contest going with nobody. It's like, who cares? Who gives a flying fuck? It's that chasing the dragon thing that I did with Instagram. It's like, I posted the picture up of a gerbil and it got 500 likes, and I posted up a painting of Wolverine and it only got 10. Oh, but woe is me. It's like, who cares? Who gives a shit? Who really cares? And in the end, is anyone going to give you an award at the end of this? No. But there you go. And interesting, I've seen that someone has dropped off my Facebook friends list. Oh, no, he hasn't. There he is.
Oh, shit. Did I not press complete button?
No, you didn't. But no, I got. Funny enough, I got a request the other day. This will just tell you something. But I got a request the other day from someone I used to know when Carol and I were in Chelmsford.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't spoken to them. Well, I haven't spoken to them since me and Carol got married, so that's like 25 years ago. And they've suddenly hit me up on Facebook, and it's like, what precisely do you want me to do about this? What exactly are you going to achieve by talking to me for the first time on a social media page after fucking 25 years? It's just, fuck off.
Is this someone I know by any chance?
Yes, I think you do.
Oh, okay. Cool beans. Right.
Mm.
I'm now going through them. Who could it be? It could be this
I don't know if they are friends with you, but you would have definitely known them from our Chelmsford days, definitely.
Probably not. No, I don't think I've got any friends from your Chelmsford days on my Facebook.
But what's really interesting is that now Facebook really is not only about driving you to the next thing. And it's come to a point where I actually treat that like spam. I got Facebook Purity on my browser, and I turn off things like friends requests, group requests, suggestions of groups. I mean, it's like, you go to a group, like I joined one called Drawing Challenge because I wanted to do a challenge every day of drawing one thing. And that's fine. But as soon as I joined it, it went, here's 50 other groups you might like. It's like, I don't want to see 50 other groups. I've joined this one. Why do I want to be a part of 50 groups? And that's
the thing with your Facebook feed now. At least half of it is recommendations for other pages, other groups that you're not following in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I know it's kind of it's all business, but sometimes I think maybe if you showed us the people we're following, people might use us a bit more. Maybe
exactly.
Stop breaking it and making it worse. You know what I mean? Stop making it unfit for purpose.
Yeah, exactly. And then you go back to the film and you go, oh yeah, the good guy was Eduardo, but then Eduardo is the one pushing all the ads. He was the one who's pushing for engagement.
He wanted the ads, definitely.
Yeah. And it's now you're sitting there looking at Facebook, which is up to its fucking wazoo in mad ads that you need 2 ad blockers on your browser and a fucking thing called Facebook Purity as an extension, just so you can use Facebook.
It's got to the point where people pay for a blue tick. People pay for that.
Exactly. And you're supposed to, and that's what going back to the film, you're supposed to celebrate this.
Well, it's the exclusivity thing that's always run through it, isn't it? It started off exclusive, and then people wanted to be part of that, and so they expanded, and it still felt exclusive, and then they went worldwide, but it still felt exclusive because lots of your friends weren't on it, and you were the first person on it. I know I definitely wasn't anywhere near out of my friends or family the first person on it. I think I was quite reluctant in the very beginning, but got on it. But it's still that exclusivity thing. And now they make you pay for your exclusivity, which is very much like a key club or members club or something like that. It's going back to the old days of, you have a club that you have to go in, but you have to pay a certain amount to go in it every single time. And sometimes I just, like I said before, it is shit's making shit to make money out. I don't know. I've lost my words now. Sorry, but it's just frustrating. I find it frustrating. And yet, some people idolize these people as well, and then they fuck off to their private beaches, while the rest of the world are stuck on their website going, "I can't get off of it. I'm addicted. I can't get off of it."
Yeah. Anyway, I'll be honest with you. I could do an entire fucking episode just ranting about the patheticness of social media and people's addiction to it, myself included.
Well, I don't think I've done social media on Shonky.
Well, maybe we should carry it on there, because I definitely have a lot of thoughts.
Well, it's the way social media has replaced the web and all the potential the web had, and now we've got a generation that only knows social media, and so the big sites that are apps basically and platforms. And I blame Steve Jobs for that, the fucking cunt. But anyhow, all these guys, they shouldn't be lionized, and history's going to judge them very poorly.
That's if there's anyone around who can actually get a clean shot at history past the 6,000 sponsored links when you click in. Show me the history of this thing. I mean, fuck me. I tried Google the other day to try find something, and I found 600 sponsored fucking things on the first page. I had to go 2 pages deep before I actually found anything of actual note worthy of use.
You go to Wikipedia, they want £2 straight away, don't they?
Yep. Yeah, Internet Archive. Have you ever thought about endorsing Internet Archive with a £10 donation every month? It's like no, I frankly
Next
no.
question.
Exactly. The idea that the internet was free, and but there you go. But anyway, like I say, internet, social media. Good Lord, it's a whole subject. None of which I think is valid for this point, because I think otherwise
we'll end up with man versus bear.
Man versus bear. What's wrong with man versus bear, man?
Well, it's the question of the day, isn't it?
What? Sorry?
Man or bear?
Man or bear in what context?
Oh, do you not know about this?
No.
Oh,
is this from gay clubs?
I don't know if it is. No, I don't think it is from gay clubs.
No, it's
nothing to do with BJ and the bear. I'm really out of my frame of reference here.
No,
Rolling down to Dallas.
It's about
Grizzly Man.
I think it's more faced at feminists. I know. I'm treading a very trickly.
It's all about right. The man or bear thing, right? Is basically asking a woman, what would you feel safer with in a forest? Would you feel safer meeting a bear or a man? That is the question.
Because we're all arseholes, aren't we? Men are all arseholes.
A good majority. Probably. I don't know. I don't know every single man.
In fairness, you could ask a man that question, because it is kind of...
Yeah.
I
Wow.
think it is kind of you're in a forest, you either meet a bear or another man. It's kind of, I'm probably, probably the bear might be safer, because if I don't piss it off, it might just leave me alone. The man, however, could be anything.
Yeah. And as much as anything, let's not. Why the fuck are you in the forest, and why the fuck is there another man in the forest?
Oh, you just spawned there.
I've just spawned. Oh, he did, or I did.
You did.
Right. So I've just spawned in the forest, and it just happens to be
cleaned up after yourself.
Yeah, I was going to say, in a pond. I spawned in a pond.
Tadpoles!
So I've just magically popped into existence in a forest, and the first thing I see is a man or a bear.
Oh, no. But would you rather be in that forest with either a man or a bear?
Yeah.
Because,
What would you feel safer with?
Yeah. Because
like
the man
saying-
could either be good or bad, but you don't know. But the bear is a bear.
Which can be the good or bad. It
Well,
can
no,
either
the bear is a bear. There's no good or bad bear.
Yes,
the
there
bear
is.
just does bear stuff.
No.
Really? There are good bears and bad bears?
Are there moustache twirling bears out there? Is that what you're saying? Like
I'm
with the top
telling-
hat.
I'm just saying.
I'm seeing a bear.
Could you
buy
just-
out you sell beer?
Jesus Christ.
Last bear I saw, he's like, could you just pop your long digit code into this phone if you don't mind?
All I was going to
my
say is
Nemesis, Yogi.
yes, we meet again at last.
Rickenback Falls, remember that?
Could I just have the 3-digit number on the reverse of your card as well, please?
Well, I don't think the bear's going to do me over for fucking fraud. But I tell you what, you either going
Uganda
to
dollar?
Ugandan dollar. Yeah. I've met a bear that claims to be a Ugandan prince. No, anyway. But the thing is, if you ran into a bear, you got two ways it's going to go. Either that bear's going to run away from you, or you're going to have to run away from that bear.
Mm-hmm.
That is not. That's no different than running into a person. Either you're going to have to run. Either that person's going to have to run away from you because they don't trust you, or you're going to have to run away from them because you don't trust them.
I think the question is, it's to get debate on.
It's putting your thumb on the scale, is what it is. Because if there was an answer you could debate, then we wouldn't be having this bit where everyone's going, "Oh yeah, but we're talking about good men and bad men, and a good bear and a bad bear is just a bear." It's like, no, hold on. You just told me a bear or a man. It's like the same thing.
There are certain people out there that think that all men will just either beat you up or rape you or do whatever they want to you.
And a bear might do the same. It's
Well,
like
the bear
a
would just
shark
do-
or a dolphin.
The bear would just do bear things. That's the thing.
What do you mean bear things? What the fuck is that even mean?
Well, it would
Break
do the bear
dancing,
thing.
skateboarding, it's a bit
Sell
of a
your
body form,
Hofmeister?
sort of.
What is he going to do?
If you've got a Hofmeister,
Windsurfing.
you're okay. If
There's
you're a
a
picnic,
picnic
basket, not so
basket.
good.
Just bear things.
Bear things, the bare necessities.
Yeah, is he going to teach me how to pick a prickly pawpaw or a prickly pear? And if I pick a raw paw next time, beware, because if you pick a prickly pear with a paw, if you pick a pear, try to use the claw. I mean, is he
But
going to do
You don't need
that?
to use a claw when you pick
A pear with a pick paw.
Hey, he
Have I
eats
given you a
ants.
clue?
You're going to love the way they tickle.
Golly, thanks, Baloo.
So, are we talking? That's what I'm saying. If you run into a bear,
Are we
And-
talking in a forest or in Soho? Well, no.
yes.
Okay.
Either way, in fact, that's the same thing, isn't it? I mean, it's like you run into a bear, either they're going to be friendly or they're not. If you run into a person in the forest, they're either going to be friendly or they're not. That's it. That's essentially your binary choice.
I think the question came from some idiots asking maybe some gullible people the question and laughing at them, and then it just blew up from there because the gullible people actually took it seriously and all their friends took it seriously, and now it's like a massive debate.
Well, you mean everybody's discussing it, so it becomes a mass... No? Yeah?
No.
Okay.
Stop.
Hammer time. Wow.
So,
Is this-
the social network.
I think we're finished.
I certainly am. Whew. Just going to go and clean up.
Right. Oh, Jesus Christ. Man or bear? What a load of old bollocks. This is like that fucking stupid thing with the fucking dress. Is it blue
Yeah.
and white or is it gold and yellow? It's like, or is it just that your camera's not calibrated and someone's got a copy of Photoshop? You bunch of spanners. That's the problems. Social media teaches me one thing, is that most people shouldn't be let outside or given anything sharper than a fucking crayon. Anyway. Do join us on Facebook group.
I was waiting.
Welcome to the Wellbeing Podcast. Yeah.
Hey, you're all fucking mad, and now we're off.
Now we've slagged it off. Go over to our Facebook group.
Exactly. Right. Has anyone got anything additional to say about the actual film? I didn't think so. Once we start talking about bears and men in forests, I just, long gone. Just there's the phrase for this week. Just follow the bear. Oh yeah. That's it. Just follow the bear. Oh yeah. So that's this week's phrase. Right. If anybody's got anything additional to add about the film, or possibly the bear versus man in a forest,
you're
by
asking
all means,
for trouble now.
I know, because I'm going to mock anyone who wants to discuss that seriously. Because it's a simple yes or no answer, isn't it? Would you rather meet a bear or a man in the forest? The answer is simply yes or no. It's not an either or. It's just no. Fucking hell. Yeah, the bear. But the bear's hibernating, so he's fine. Would you rather meet a man or a hibernating bear? Okay, well, maybe then a man. Oh, you'd rather meet a man? No, okay, maybe I don't. Well, the hibernating bear might come out and kill you. Oh, fuck off. The bear might have a shotgun. Well, the man might have a baseball cap.
It does depend on the bear as well. Is it a standard black bear? Is it a grizzly bear?
Is it a Kodiak?
Yeah. Is it a polar bear? Yeah, cocaine bear. Yeah.
Yep. Is it Yogi Bear? Yeah. Is it
Paddington?
Yeah.
Is it a panda? Because they're fucking useless.
Is it half the cast of the birdcage? I mean, what are we talking here? Jesus Christ. Anyway, send in your feedback to feedback.
Man versus food.
Man versus food, yeah. Yeah. Bear versus yogurt at blackdogpodcast.com. No, anyway. Fucking hellfire. Cream cheese versus lard. I mean, what do you want? What kind of nonsense is this? Fucking hell. Baguette versus shotgun. Which one would you rather meet in a swimming pool? Fucking send your likes, do a TikTok dance and shove one up your ass. Which one would you rather? Anyway, so if you'd like to send any feedback in, do it. Either send it into the Facebook group, Irony, at facebook.com/group/the Black Dog Podcast, or send in some feedback via email, which is feedback@blackdogpodcast.com. Or better yet, go into the forest and see if you can find a man or a bear and let us know how you got on. Maybe fight some yogurt with a pan au chocolat. I don't fucking know. Anyway, right. Time for me to pick my film now. I'm reliably informed this time that it is my turn. So
it is? Okay.
It is. Well, do you want it to be your turn, Dal? Seeing as I took your turn last time, and then you gave us Wolf of Wall Street. No, back when I did Saturnia.
Oh God, I think you should have the decision process taken out of your fucking hands altogether after that. I really do.
Well, funny enough, that's handy because I've got four films here.
Have you?
Oh, I have.
Right. Okay,
now, I have two on one service, and I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but I've got one film for each service to start with. So I've got one for Disney, one for Amazon Prime, and one for Netflix, plus a wild card that's on one of those three. So, first off, I'm going to ask all three of you, which service should I look at? Is it Disney, Prime, or Netflix?
I'm going to say if you can avoid Disney, then great, because I've not got the capability of downloading the movie, so I have to watch it indoors on the TV. It's just the actual subscription that we've got here.
So Darren's trying to. So Darren's dismissing Disney. What about you, Jim? What are you going to go for?
We've got a dice to hand. I don't know. It's like Russian roulette, isn't it?
Yeah. Diddy Mao.
Or from a technical standpoint, I don't have any sort of issues with any of the services, so I'm easy with either ones. I have no strings attached to them.
Okay. Elton?
Oh, God. I was going to say Disney, honestly. But now I found out that Darren can't watch it on the train, so definitely Disney.
Thanks, man. Cheers. This is going to be one of those 3-hour fucking films, isn't it?
Right. Well, I'm dismissing Disney. So okay.
Oh,
so we got Prime and Netflix. Which one out of those two do you chaps want to pick?
Well, let's see now. Let's guys. Can we just have a little bit of a discussion here for a minute?
Okay. Huddle up.
If you just want to just stand over there for a second.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Right. So, guys, just remember, right? Okay. If we choose Netflix, of course, that hoary old pile of shite from Zack Snyder's on there.
Oh, the moon thing.
Know, then, yeah. The one with slow motion gardening on it. Apparently, this one's got. I'm not joking.
Really?
Slow motion farming. Yeah. Right? They've got nothing else to go slow mo on, so they just slow mo gardening. It's like an advert for porridge oats. Right? This is what I'm hearing.
And they're germinating.
Or ready break.
Very slowly.
Intergalactic ready break.
I think on balance you've got a broader selection on Prime as well. Netflix is all kind of very much geared up for Zoomer generation, so it's like, anything from 2010 is like an old film, man. It might be a bit slow.
Indeed. There's some real oddities on Prime.
Should we go for Amazon then?
Let's go for Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Right.
And you want to bring him back into the room? God, he's like fucking Mr. and Mrs. with Derek Beatty, isn't it? Take off the headset.
Right, okay. Have you made your decision?
We have.
Yeah.
Right.
We're going with Vimo.
Going for Mubi.
Yeah.
So which one is it? Go on.
We're going to go for Prime.
Prime. Okay. So we're going for Prime. I can tell you that this one didn't have the wild card in it. So I'm going to show... The film I've picked off of Prime is The Northman.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, lovely.
Is that Skarsgård?
Yes, it is. Okay, as a Viking. So, there you go. Alexander Skarsgård, covered in shit, with a beard, Anya Taylor-Joy, mainly in the nod, in a hot tub, and... lots of fighting.
Because they were big back then, hot tubs back in the Viking times. They all had them.
Whenever you see her, whenever you look up Northman and Anya Taylor-Joy, there's just a picture of her getting into what looks like basically a Nordic hot tub.
Really?
Joy in a hot tub.
Yeah.
Indeed, joy very much so, joy in a hot
exactly,
tub. Yeah.
Joy in a hot tub. And it's directed by the guy who did The Lighthouse.
Oh, beautiful.
So God knows what we're going to get.
Oh, wow. So this is going to be an Anya Taylor double bill for me this week.
Oh.
I'm off to see Furiosa.
Oh, right.
This week.
That's cool.
On the 24th. So, yeah.
There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, next week's movie is not a total disaster. It's The Northman. Robert Eggers' The Northman. Has anyone seen this film?
No.
Okay. Neither have I.
I've
there you
heard
go.
Good things about it, though.
Well, I've heard little or nothing about it beyond the fact that it's ultra violent and it's Robert Eggers. We've seen his films before, so we know they can go a bit crazy. Bonzo Dog Doodah Band. So
as long as they don't talk about his lobsters, you like my lobster.
Do you like my lobster? Say you like my lobster. I can't stand your fighting.
Jim,
like my lobster?
Jim, is this what it is like up north?
No.
In
a word.
Why would that? Why would?
Jim's the Northman out of us.
Well, he is a Northman.
He was great,
not quite that north.
Not there. Yeah. Yeah, we're talking North with a capital North. Well, yeah, but actually a little bit. Off
I will
to the
mark
east.
the film on northernness as I judge it from my surroundings next week, if you like.
Oh, well, that's it. We've got the northern scale now. This is it. So,
Do they have a Primark?
Elton's got potatoes.
Are they
right?
out?
And Jim's got North.
In the blazing winter in just shirt sleeves.
Yes.
Yep.
They are
Pretty much.
actually. Yeah, I was
As
gonna
the
say-
joke goes up here, kind of in the BBC where there is a storm warning for most of England. Northerners, you might need your big coat.
Nice.
Big coat.
You might put a jumper on.
I love when people put the word big in front of stuff, like the big light. Switch the big light on.
Yeah.
Big telly.
Big telly, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Brilliant. Okay, well, there you go. So, we'll be judging the Northman on his northernness. Yeah, if he hasn't got at least one flat cap, a whippet, and a coal scullery, then we are writing. Is
it Sean Bean North?
Is it?
I think it is does the scale go from mushy peas right up to Ecky Thump?
Oh God! And it was this episode.
God bless you, goodies. That's all I'll say. God bless you.
And it was this episode that Jim protested and left, and never came back. Okay. Well, there you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, The Northman. It's on Prime, Amazon Prime. We'll be doing that next week, and that's that. So,
Cool.
let's wrap this thing up. Because it's saying browser is holding more recording audio than your buffer can hold. So I'm in a bit of a panic now.
Yeah.
So
Your buffer's overflowing.
My
Right,
buffer's
okay.
overflowing. Yeah, so Jim, do you want to just fill us in what's going on hypnagoria.com?
Yes, this week in a surprise episode,
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a tribute to the. I've just released a tribute to the late great Roger Corman,
Mm-hmm.
and tomorrow, Thursday, time travel, because it's now past midnight.
Oh God, yeah.
We're releasing a Corman tribute. We're looking at one of his early films, Not of This Earth, which conveniently is on
Nice.
YouTube.
Nice.
And the print on YouTube is better than the one on Amazon Prime.
Oh, that's brilliant. Excellent. Okay, cool. And will you be returning to Carnosaur after our last venture to that particular joy? No.
Not just yet.
No, okay.
It might crop up in the Kaiju series.
Nice. Yeah, cool. And that's over at hypnagoria.com.
It is indeed.
Brilliant. Okie dokie. And what about you, Elton? What's happening on rogue2media.com?
At the moment, we're just talking about cars going round in circles.
Fantastic. Okie dokie. So that's that. And Darren, anything?
Nothing.
Fantastic. In which case, that gives me just a few seconds to go. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Elton. And yes, do send your feedbacks in. And otherwise, we'll see you next week for The Northman. Until then, take care. Tatty bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ta-da.
Satellite delay.
Oh, bollocks to it.